Mhm.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to our day 3 of our free masterclass. And we were just asking a few of the participants. Vienna opened it up, right? So Dr. Owen was sharing her wins or her ahas the last few days after we've met from CEO Space to finally meeting again from E&E Inner Circle and now here. So go ahead, Dr. Owen.
Well, that was organic that just came out. So I'm going to do my best to do whatever. Yeah, I said I met with Vivian before and she did the human design. So I had some sense of understanding as I was coming into that discussion. When it comes to Vienna and her magic, I did not. And what happened is I was taking in information, asking questions. But when you began to do the practical application with various people, I began to see like a pattern. It was not the same pattern, but it was the same kind of thinking or process, but applied or customized or tailored for the person's situation. And that fascinated me.
Awesome.
Because it was not a band-aid on a bullet hole. It was something that was customized, and that
Well
was
said.
wonderful for me.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you
sharing.
for that. All right. So today, another gift, right, for us, humankind. So I talked about human design. You guys know I'm a generator. Vienna is a projector. Therese is a reflector. They're the rarest type in the whole world. They're about 1% of the population. And tomorrow is another person called manifesting generator, Amy. But today, I wanted Therese to come up and show her magic, her zone of genius, because she just reflects who you are. Isn't this so cool? So I wanted her to come up and share her magic with oracle cards so that you could also have this sense of confidence. You know, when you're asking, in the past, we would pray. Sometimes you talk to a friend, you ask someone, but what if your friend actually gave you an advice that probably good for her, but maybe not the best for you? But what if you can use a different tool aside from the people you talk to, whatever you read, whatever you listen to, and you just trust your own inner guidance to guide you through that question that you have. So here is Therese Nadeau, Miss Reflector.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I feel honored to be in this space, I have to say. And I'm really excited to share with you what I've created because it's kind of fun. I really love oracle cards, and I don't dabble much in tarot, but I'll be going through some history with you today, which I love the history of what I do. So I'm going to start a presentation for you all, and I know that you'll like it because it's going to be good. Okay. Just let me know if you can see this. Yeah, you guys can see this, eh? Awesome. Okay, so this is all about using oracle cards for guidance. And when I speak about guidance, I speak about your intuition. I speak about you connecting with God, the universe, or source, whatever that is to you, whatever feels aligned to you. And to me, oracle cards were the gateway to really trusting the magnificent power that God has given us in our life, and our ability to really create and connect with who we truly are. This was my gateway drug, I guess you could say. My gateway drug to divine beauty, au natural, right? Okay. So what are oracle cards? Many people have misconceptions. We were just talking about this before, about people terrified to use cards, terrified because they might be the devil, right? You might not be using them in the right way. Well, oracle cards are actually a very fun and lighthearted, accurate divination tool. Now, when I say that lighthearted, I mean you can give any object energy. Everything is energy. Energy is constant. It's always moving. It's always changing. It's always evolving. And we know that when you give something meaning, it has an energy to it. Well, oracle cards are a fun way to really tap into you and the energy that you're holding. And so they're free form. You can buy decks that are on cats. You can buy decks that are about vampires. Whatever energy that feels for you, you're going to be able to attract that. Decks on goddesses, history decks. You can even write your own deck, create your own deck. They've got beautiful imagery. They're very creative. They're much easier to learn than the tarot deck, because the tarot deck actually has the major and minor arcana, which has a history. And they differ in size. So there's no one size fits all with decks. Normally, oracle decks may have 44 cards, but I've had decks with different cards. And many of you have seen now how common they're becoming. You can go now into like a psychologist's office and you'll see a little deck there of affirmations. It's the same idea. Now it's becoming more widely known. And words are spelling, which are spells. So words coming off the paper, coming off of that card to you have meaning as much as the imagery. You may see an owl in the picture, and then you'll hear the word owl, someone talking about an owl, and you'll know that that owl is there to give you a message. So it's really about having fun and playing and not taking yourself seriously. And no, there's no devil worship, and no, it's not a negative energy unless you actually purposely want to create that, right? You could buy decks, I'm sure, that are really horrible out there that don't have good energy, like vampire decks. No, thank you. I stay away from all the energy vampires that I can, to be honest. And we know there's always one in every office. So if you've worked in an office. All right. So let's go on to a bit of the history. This picture is actually a real picture taken out of France, and it's in a museum, and that's why I wanted to post it, because I thought it was really, really cool to see like this grandmother or this wise woman sharing her wisdom, and she's using playing cards. So originally, playing cards came around in Italy in the 1400s, which I find very fascinating that it was in Europe that the first playing cards were created. And so they had the hearts, they had the suits, right? The 4 suits. And what happens is over time, people started recognizing the masculine, feminine energy that the cards could contain and put meaning to it. Once again, this is about putting meaning to an energetic meaning to it. And so over time, like the Joker meant something, which is what the Joker is still in the original tarot deck. The Queen means something, right? So I found out, actually, I'm going to share this with you guys. I haven't shared this much. So my cousin had this gift. She passed this on to me, the cards, when I was 18. But prior to that, I found out that my French-Canadian grandmother, who had 15 children, and my great grandmother, who had 21 children, like, I don't know if you guys know much about French Canadians, but they were very Catholic, and they had lots of children. The church really wanted them to procreate and grow their churches, right? And I found out my grandmother, which is Therese, who I'm named after, Therese, she actually used cards. My mother just told me this after me doing this work for however many, a decade, that she remembers Grandma Therese actually reading cards at the kitchen table. And I thought, well, how fascinating is that, right? That's part of my history as well. Had no idea. So it's interesting how you don't have to come from a family of card readers or psychics or whatever, but you can always tune in using these cards, and it's quite fun. So the Rider-Waite tarot deck was the most known. It came out of the regular playing cards, and it was given suits. and minor arcana, major arcana. I'm not going to go deep into it. You can research this. It's very fascinating. And so it came from that. And that was published in the early 1900s. So it's been going on for a while, hey? Hard to believe, you know, quite a long time. And we know that different cultures had different tools, right? We know that different cultures had different divination tools passed down from their shamans or their healers in their village. You know, I spoke about seeing bones, using bones back in the day, tea leaves. Have you guys ever had a tea leaf reading? No? They're kind of fun and pretty interesting. So once again, it's looking at meaning in the tea leaves. Is it shaped like a butterfly? Maybe there's a message there. So that gives you a little taste. So let's move. We've got the tarot deck now. It's been invented. So these are real playing cards from back in the early 1900s, this picture. And so you can see the king and queen. You can see they have numbers related, and they had meaning, right? So it was the meaning that was given. So oracle cards, switching from the tarot deck, came around the 1800s. And it was in France, those French people. They brought this into the global world, starting with the Lenormand deck. And so it was named after, that deck was named after Marie Anne Lenormand. And she was a very famous fortune teller at the time because she was very accurate. You would come to see her and she knew things, and people didn't understand how she knew, but she did. And so when she passed, there was a fellow, I forget what his name is, but he had published the deck after her. It was like an ode to her, and probably a good marketing tactic, right? Everyone knew who she was. So why not call the deck after her? Then they know, okay, these got to be good cards because she was pretty accurate. So this is like, you know, we're going from 1700s now. So this stuff's been around a long time. And I want to just address the fear factor with it for a moment. We know we're programmed. We know that we've had multiple generations of programming. And when you think about it, the time of inducing fear into witchcraft or using divination tools came about when the churches started being erected with no windows in them. And people were being brought inside out of the light. And I'm not, I have nothing against religion or church or anything. I'm just saying how it went about was a fear was induced in using the divination tools. There was a fear induced so that there was more control by the church. And it's written in history. So I'm sure many of you know that, you know, that's when a lot of the herbs and things and the witches were being burnt. Like there's so much in history about this. So I do feel ancestrally, we still carry that in us, that fear of really using these tools because of generational, you know, having ancestors, mostly women, being persecuted or killed because of their belief systems and using herbs and dancing under the moon, whatever that was at the time that was considered wrong. So we feel that in our genes. And then also for those of you who believe in multiple lifetimes, which I do, we may have been persecuted in many lifetimes. Many people that come and do this work with Vivian, I'm sure Vienna, myself, I've seen the lifetimes of persecution. And this is a way to clear that as well. It's a way to embrace your gifts and speak that truth, which usually it's the throat, the head chopped off, or, you know, hanging from the guillotine, whatever that was that you experienced could be the case. So why use them? Well, first of all, you have to get rid of that fear. You're not going to use them if you have a fear you're going to be burned or you know, injured in some way by the gods or divine. Basically, this goes down into allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to really connect with your intuition. And it's really about opening up and receiving, right? Which we know to manifest, you have to be open to receive. With money, you have to be open to receive. With pleasure, the same thing goes. And many of us are overgivers. We don't receive as well. So this is a really great way to allow yourself to receive. So receiving that connection to source, connection to you personally, because you have to stop, listen, and tune in, right? I mean, yes, you can throw a card out here and there on the fly, but when you truly sit down to give yourself a reading, you have to stop, look, and listen. You have to be quiet in yourself, not have too much distraction. You don't have to, but it's really helpful, because how can you hear? It could be a fleeting intuition. And I mean, based on human design, we all have different ways. There's actually channels in human design that give way to intuition and the different types of intuition. However, we can all work on our intuition. It's a muscle, right? So this provides opportunity for self-inquiring connection to what you're really feeling outside of anyone else's energy, outside of what other people may be sharing with you, so that you have your own sovereign connection. You learn to trust it by doing this, because the card will physically show you. So for example, my girlfriend and I were doing a Zoom call. She lives up in northern British Columbia. I live in southern British Columbia. And, you know, we have the same deck of cards, and we will read for each other for fun when we connect. Well, no kidding. We both pulled the same card. I know many people have experienced this. You'll pull a card, you don't like it, you throw it back, and then it'll come out again. You'll have the same card again, the same message again. Or you'll pull the same card every day for a week, and you're shuffling the best you can. You're scribbling that deck around. So it's a physical way to connect with your intuition, because the card is going to show you what you need to hear, tell you what you need to hear. You can even smell sometimes what it's trying to tell you, because the picture on there has an aroma. You know what I'm saying? Like your brain will connect to say the picture is this beautiful meal. You're going to smell that meal, and maybe you need to eat more of what's in that meal. Or maybe you got to stop eating what's in that meal. I don't know. I haven't seen too many meals on Oracle cards. Sorry, guys, but I just threw that out there as a descriptor. So basically, that physical proof gives you permission to trust what you're hearing, seeing, feeling, right? So if I'm making a major life decision, do I stay or go, say in my career? Say I want to leave my job. I don't know if it's the right time. My card will give me insight into that. It might say on there, be patient. And you're like, dang, I don't want to be patient. I want to go now. I want to do it now. How many of us have no patience? Me, I don't have patience very much. And then okay, I have to wait. I have to day by day it, for example. Or it might say take action now, and it's this cougar. So you're going to be a cougar, and you're going to go after whatever that is that you want, because it's saying take action now. So it's just giving you that insight. It teaches you to have patience, right? And tune in to yourself. Once again, outside of yourself is where we've been taught to get messages. We're taught to ask others for advice all the time, or maybe we become codependent on our partner, or codependent in friendships. So setting those intentions and questions will actually help you with more ease, help you. So if you sit down and you have an intention, you're holding your cards. I mean, you could do multiple decks, you can shuffle them all together. There's no right or wrong. And I'm sitting down and I'm like, okay, I intend to make 10K a month starting next month. I'm just throwing this out there, because who, many of you might be making 10K a month, but someone who's making 2K a month wants 10K a month. So they sit down, they're like, okay, I really want this. They're setting that intention. They're holding that space. Well, maybe they pull a card for each week of that month. That card's going to show where the resistance is. That card's going to show where there may be challenges, because we can't receive 10K a month unless we know how to, once again, receive and let go. Then that card might just show, let go of a friendship, or let go of your relationship. And I throw that in there because often Often we have to let go of relationships when we're rising in the elevator up. Some people have to get off because they're not supporting you or whatever, right? They're hindering you because they want to keep you in that space where you've been. And when you make 10K a month, maybe there's going to be judgment. Who knows, right? So it's allowing yourself to really tap in, trust in yourself, but also have fun and not take yourself so seriously, right? Which we tend to do. And we live in a day and age right now on the planet where we're all pretty serial all the time right now. You know, gotta be serial. Okay, so how do we do it? Well, for those of you who don't have a deck, you want to choose a deck that feels really good to you, right? And there's no wrong. You can do no wrong with these cards, I'm telling you. There's no, lightning bolt going to come down and give you gray hair, or, you're not going to lose someone in your life because you're choosing to use these cards. The only wrong way to use them is when you become codependent. And codependency means you live by that card. You don't use your intellect. You give your power away to it, basically, right? Or you misinterpret in a way that's unhealthy, if that makes sense. And so the more you use your deck, the longer you have a deck, you would not believe how powerful it becomes for you. You'll know what that card means immediately after reading the book several times, using that card. For example, I have this deck. I'll show it to you guys after. It's like worn down because I've had it for 10 years. And anytime I pull a card, I know exactly what it means. I know exactly what's going to happen. It's very precise now. And I'll know, okay, there's someone in your life, or I'll know there's a dependency, whatever that is, right? So getting to know your deck means you touched every single card. You have read what each card means. You've used that card because it's your energy starts to envelop in that deck. Believe it or not, it becomes an extension of you. That's a pure divination tool. Some people use runes. Some people use pendulums. Some people just muscle test. Their fingers become that tool, right? Like Vienna's the muscle test queen. I've never been able to do it. I've done training on it. I've practiced it. It's like my body will not just let go and just, give that non-ego or judgment. I don't know what it is. But whereas the cards for me are more natural. And I actually do get the yes or no. I'll just hear it. So for me, that's another divination tool, is just trusting the voice or what I see. So there's different ways and there's different abilities that you have that feel natural to you. So using your cards, pictures, using the cards' words, maybe they'll stand out to you. Maybe the picture will just invoke a certain emotion in you. You have to just trust in that and let it guide you over time. All right. So okay. So this is my little tidbit of what people are saying when they work with me. I'll let you guys read it. And I was asked to share a little bit about me so you guys know that the work I do, because we're going to be, when you work with these cards, this really helps knowing that I know what I'm doing. Okay, so let's talk about choosing the right deck for you, because this is a lot of fun. This is I love shopping for decks, bringing a friend and going into your favorite store and it usually smells like incense or nice essential oils. So choosing the right deck is all about really tuning into your inner child and that curiosity within you, that little girl or little boy within you. And looking at each deck, feeling each deck. Usually they have them on display. You can look at the pictures. You can shuffle and feel them. And you can ask, how does this feel in my body? Do I resonate with the images on the card? What about the words? So for those of you who are really, your inner child loves unicorns, you're going to be like, ooh, today I want the unicorn deck. Or maybe you feel you need protection in your life. Maybe you're feeling unsafe in an environment or in a relationship. You might choose a deck that's all about empowering you to feel more powerful, because they are a form of education, believe it or not. So it's really all about, if you resonate to what the words say, what the deck is about, and what you want to gain from this deck. What do you want to learn while you learn to use the deck? What do you want to experience as you read for yourself and then begin to read for others? So that's where that comes in, is like just really trusting that you're going to find the right deck if you just let go of being serial, as we say, and just being curious and knowing in you. Your body is just going to tell you. You're just going to be like, oh, I love it. It's like choosing artwork. I don't know if you guys like to buy artwork or appreciate artwork. It's the very same idea. It's like me, I'm like a kid in the candy store, and I'll show you guys my new deck that I got as well. Okay. So if you guys need to contact me, here's my contact information. And of course, you can always do so in the chat, and I can send you my information. And so now let's play with some cards. Woo! So I'm going to show you my new deck. And this is called the Priestess of Light Oracle. This is my new one. Can you guys see that okay? Yeah. And the reason why I got this one is because the work I do is as an oracle, shamanistic priestess, but I don't give myself really these titles, but I just felt called to the priestess energy. So that was the deck that I found, and I've really resonated with it. It's got beautiful pictures. Yay! So if anyone has any questions, feel free, chime in, or insight. Patience again, Lauren.
I've got one, Therese.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm going to turn up my volume though, because my ears are quiet.
So the first few times that I was doing this in a context of one of these master classes and courses, I didn't have a physical deck. And so I looked up the app on my phone to say that's available, and it's kind of cool, and it's free for a week or two or something. Then ultimately some of them, you pay. I just wondered, I wanted to get your comment on that.
Yeah, it's interesting because now there's so many online, so many free. Yeah, I've done it too because it's fun. Sometimes I'll just be in bed and I'll be like, what's the tarot saying today? And then I'll just do it. And honestly, once again, it's the energy and intention, because the magic is in our intention. That's so if you are asking spirit for a sign or something, right? Like you said, you don't have to have them physically, but I'll tell you that the reason why you want them physically is because you're putting your essence into them. And it's fun, and it's tangible, and it's tactile, and it's visual, right? Like this is my new deck, and it's just like all the goddesses or the priestesses around the globe, right? So it's like educational, this deck for me. The priestess of this, the priestess of that. And so, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, no right or wrong. If you want to pull it up online, do so, because it's fun. And I've had some pretty powerful readings on the online one. Where it gets sketchy is the people that, you give them your email address And then they send you messages saying, do you want a reading? Or I had this vision for you, like suck you in to like pay money. And then if you so you just have to pay attention to your energy and what feels good. If it at all doesn't feel good, that's not for you. That's not the site for you. I'll go on some sites, I'm like, not feeling this one. Yeah, and just honoring that, right?
Thank you. That's beautiful to a reminder to honor our own intuition. Thanks.
Cool.
Yeah.
So maybe we can ask. So I'm going to demonstrate like how we ask questions, right? So for example, Therese, for this particular group who's going to be attending our manifestation booster, is there something that they would like? Well, obviously the title says manifestation, but what would be beneficial for all of those who are attending? Because I'm looking, is it a good question to ask that? Because I'm not asking about myself, right? I know when I brought everybody together, it'll be magical. I just know. So
your question is, what is beneficial for them?
right, like the thread, like the common thread that the people are looking to solve, so then we can, because we're all intuitive, so obviously we tailor the event usually for who's present. That's how I do my events, by the way.
Wonderful. And so let me tell you, ladies, when you get really clear on using your decks or your divination tool, one day you don't need it.
Right.
So when Vivian asked me, I just pull the cards because it's fun. But I already can kind of tune in and be like, oh, okay. Just like Vivian does it, right? Okay, so I pulled a card for the question because I'm really, and this is the new deck, so we got to play with it.
Yes.
It's precognition, psychic ability, future vision. Okay, I'm going to show you guys this beautiful card. So precognition is knowing the future, essentially.
So they want to know the future? Is that what
well, because you said they're wanting direction.
Yeah, they want direction. Yeah.
So what the message for me when I got it was they want clarity of direction. For them,
mind pulling it up again? I want to take
sure. I can send you a photo too, babe.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so because I wanna design it based on. It's funny, you guys. I get my aha moments like a few days before the event, literally, and then I put it together a PowerPoint because it's like this is what they want, so I better just deliver it to them. That's how I do it.
I love it.
Cool. Go ahead.
So this is the Egyptian goddess. So when I'm going to do a quick reading here.
I've been to
so the women that are coming or the people coming to the event lived in ancient Egypt. That's the message I'm getting.
Okay.
And they're clearing that.
Actually, Shifra's Egyptian name. It's not so much Hebrew. So
My God.
that is really
Your sign.
It's really, no, seriously, it's really Shifra. I shortened it. But Shifra is really an Egyptian goddess.
Wow. Cool.
That the Hebrews took the name because she was such a hero. That gave me chills, like right through my.
Okay. So this is about the Egyptian priestess and heightened psychic ability. So what's going to happen, I think, for the ladies that are coming in, because they're going to be opening up to receive, is that's going to heighten, of course, working with you and working with us healers. We're healing so much past life.
Yep.
And generational, right? We do the generational 7 back, 7 forward. So it's like, once you can clear that way, you're opening up to the future possibilities. And so also with this card, it's about reaching new heights of intuition and precognitive ability. So flashes of insight, deeper awareness, trusting the information. This keeps coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to see what else they want to say. Okay, it could mean a career change.
Hello.
And it also speaks of past lives when I read it, because I've never pulled this card before, you guys. This is new because it's my new deck. And this one hasn't come up yet. So it's saying here, it may indicate a potential career involving psychic or intuitive practices.
Okay.
In fact, you may have had such careers in your past life. And so that's what I'm seeing. It's like there's an ancient Egyptian connection. which I have had a past life, and I've cleared a past life myself in ancient Egypt, where I was buried alive with the Pharaoh. It was a blood moon. I actually found the date. And it was all about speaking and breathing my truth, which I think is what we're all learning to do, coming to this event and letting yourself trust in yourself. Yeah. So there is an affirmation. I am one with the spirit world. Every day my psychic ability grows. And psychic is like a trigger word for some people. It is. And so I wrote all about this. I wrote a whole thing on psychic myths. But basically, psychic and intuition are similar. But intuition is really working on that intuition until your abilities are more psychic, if that makes sense. It's an easy way to put it. And you can't be a medium unless you're psychic. So everyone has intuition. It's just that muscle, right? So if you prefer the word intuition and when you say the affirmation, that's totally fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is exciting, you guys. I'm ready. So who wants to ask Therese a question?
Also, Teresa, that's really interesting, that last statement you just made, because I'm very intuitive, and I say I was in the closet for many, many, many years. And the more that I just am an allowance of my intuition, it is amazing how I was never psychic before, but now I can literally, I used to know things are going to happen, and sometimes now I see things that are going to happen. And it's just a flash. So that's really interesting that it's just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. Because when I was younger, what had happened was, I would know things were going to happen, and I think I said something one time and I got mocked for it. And I said something like, something happened, and I'm like, well, I knew that was going to happen. I got mocked for that. So I learned just to shut up and just know. So I went into the closet for many, many, many years. So that was just a really interesting statement that you just said, that the more intuitive, I think the more that we just accept our intuitiveness, the more that the psychicness just, because it just appears.
Yeah, it's giving yourself permission, because you were cut off from that permission by an adult figure.
My mother.
Yeah, because it was scary to, like, that's the thing, is like children are very psychic. They came from spirit like after us, which means they're much more wise. And
right,
they're
much, even into my teenage years, I just knew things. I just knew things that were going to happen. Was it yesterday that I shared the story that I wasn't allowed to watch I Dream of Jeannie? My dad used to tell that on Babysitter, don't let this one watch I Dream of Jeannie. Her mind will go places. Well, it's not that my mind would go. I could relate.
Well, it was fear, right? It's the parents thinking they're doing the best, or the figure thinking they're doing the best out of a fear. Once again, that's generational.
Yeah, that was just really powerful what you just said. So thank you. And I think when you were talking about career change, you said something at the very beginning about that card. I think we're already there. Whatever you had said about coming to the class, I think we're already there, all of us that would come to the class. I think we're looking forward to go further.
Well, that's what it is. It's about direction and being more in tune with trusting that you're on the path and you're going. So we got to clear the stuff from behind, right? Because we're not going back there. We're going forward, and we're coming to this event to clear all that shit away.
I know, but
it's hard to do it on your own.
I've cleared so much I've cleared, and Vivian, you know that, and so do you, Vienna. I've cleared a lot of that shit. I just, as you were saying that, it's like, how much more shit?
Well, we're layered. We're onions. We are onions, and every layer, we've got generations, we've got lifetimes, we've got this lifetime. I mean, it's endless. It's forever as a human. And
it really is.
And as I look at myself today, I mean, I'm 45 years old and I'm going through, like, I'm single, right? So when I look at like what I go through dating in my 40s compared to dating in my 20s, I'm like, do I really have to go through this? I thought this was going to be done and over. Seriously.
Think of it as a spiral instead of circular. If you guys think of your growth, so then it doesn't feel like, again, I'm in the same circle. No, you're not. Okay, I promise you, you're not. A spiral, like the chakra, right? It looks like, what is this again? Is this a money thing? First chakra. I thought I already figured this out. Yeah, you did, from, let's say, going from 5,000 a month to 10,000 a month, but you haven't figured out 20,000, 30, 50,
That's right.
100,000. You haven't figured out that part because the mindset and your energy at 10,000 is completely different than 100,000. I can tell you that. It's actually less work, you guys, less physical work is what I'm saying. It's more, the more I do this, it's so interesting. You know how they say thoughts, right? Feelings, actions, results. You've heard of that, right? I've heard of it several times. That one little thought, that the littlest thought that's sabotaging you to get to feel a certain way, to finally believe in you, it starts again there. It's not like action, result, belief. No, it's not like that. It's always thoughts, feelings, actions, results. So when you get to the root cause of that issue, that thought, you just like, oh yeah, that's gonna help me. So now I go to events and I go to, you know, I listen, I listen, I hear, and I kind of smell. That's my human design thing, is smell. I just smell when somebody is real, like truthful, or there's stuff still there. I can't explain to you, but that's my design, right? I can smell people. Even from a distance, I'm like, she's not telling the truth. Or yeah, she's telling the truth. I know truth from falsehood without blinking, and I'm even closing my eyes and like, no, I'm not going to go to that party, or yes, I'm going to go, before it even comes. So that's what happens, is the past, the present, and the future, they almost kind of blend together, and you can just sense it in your body. I can sense it in my body. I'm like, yeah, that's good for me. Or no, I don't want to deal with that person. That's how I deal with it.
And I think because Vivian, you've been doing this work for so long. I mean, you've mastered your craft. You're the master of the craft. And so as you're mastering your craft, there's going to be all these little signposts and things to, like you're saying, it's all, I mean, because time isn't linear, right? So it's like all about right here, right now, in this moment. And so, so it's really interesting how, like, I always vision the onion. And the reason why is because each deep layer, I'm crying like a baby. I'm crying, I'm releasing, and tears are salt water, right? Tears are love. Tears actually are love, because every time you release, even though you feel like doo-doo and you don't want to see anyone because your eyes are puffy, it's like, it's because you're loving up yourself, because you're doing the work. And every layer is different. Like sometimes I'll revisit a layer. I'm like, oh, okay, right. So like you said, you're muted.
Are you talking to me?
Vivian was saying something. But so anyway, this is really what it's about, is we're just releasing more layers to be more in the present, to be more in tune. Because they say the first 10K in business actually comes from clarity. You're very clear on your messaging. You're very clear on your client. You're very clear about exactly what your expertise is, and you're not wishy-washy offering different things. You're not talking different talks. You're very clear. So it's almost boring because you're talking about the same thing over and over, because you know so many things, but you have to be very specific. They say the next after 10K, it's good marketing. So Vivian has gotten to the place where it's easier because she's clear. She's done the hard work at the beginning, got the trust, and now she just hires her team to do really great marketing, and she gets to show up and be magic. And that's, I think, where we all want to be in our business, right? Mm-hmm.
Can I say one thing for Shifra?
Yeah.
I had to chuckle, Shifra, at the way, excuse me, you reported that was, at my perception was that when you did something that was off limits, you had to go to a closet. Is that what you said? You're muted.
My mind was in the closet.
Okay, so what I pictured there was uh, in that figurative sense, you have come out of the closet, you're an intuitive and you're not afraid to be identified with that. And then I've just been kind of playing with it and muscle testing. What is your relationship to the closet now? Like, do you sometimes go back in and hide a little bit, or?
Around certain people. Around certain people.
Yeah, okay. So I was like, okay, does she need to take the door off the closet or lock the door or drywall over it? And I'll leave that to you to figure it out. But there's
That's
the relationship you've had with the closet. I just invite you to rework that.
You know, Shifra, I've had clients who were closet card readers for like 30 years. And it's and they've come out and now do the work. So
Oh, I'm doing the work. I'm doing my energetic work.
yeah.
You said
but-
something that was really powerful at the very beginning. You said these cards are nothing more than going into a psychologist or a psychologist's office and reading affirmations. That was such a great analogy of the cards as well as doing energy work. It's no different.
Yeah,
It's no
thank
different
you.
than going to a psychologist and talking it out than talking to somebody who can feel the energy and feel the energy, along with the oracle cards or the tarot cards. There are words and pictures that are just going to help fill the body.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful way of the way you said that, instead of making it out into these demon type ways.
Right. Vilifying it.
Talking that way, I just realized that they're closed and they want to have judgment. So I just have to be done with that.
Right.
So, and then
Thank
Vivian,
you.
she just pointed out something that was just absolutely enormous. Also, Vivian, you said that it can just be that one little speck that can throw you off. And I was just about to launch something, and the lady that I was working with did something that triggered my brain, and I've never launched, which I'm going to. She kept saying, "Why aren't you launching? Why aren't you launching?" And what it was is, when my mother used to yell at me, I closed down, and this lady, she snapped at me for just like the stupidest reason. And her father just passed away, and I understand that she was grieving. I understand all that, but she snapped at me, and it triggered, like, I was all excited. She's like, "You were so excited and read a lot. What happened?" And I didn't have the courage to tell her. So Vivian, when you just said that, I have to clear that now. And now I have to clear that because I'm not going to allow that trigger, which I've allowed.
But that's your judgment to yourself. So the same judgment that you don't like
Yes,
is you're using it against you. So
right,
if judgment actually is neutral to you, like,
right.
is it okay that I say something that your friend or
So it wasn't
neighbor
the
says
it wasn't
something?
the, it wasn't the word.
Could be the
it was
tone. Yeah,
It was the tone.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
But you
the
gotta
tone.
clear that, girl. You gotta be
I
neutral.
gotta clear that. I know, I'm clearing it. And it's like, woo, when you said that, I started to sweat. When I started to sweat,
Oh, good.
like, you know
So
what?
remember, some people will love you, some people will hate you for what you're doing. And I would just tell you, please don't go in a pit of snakes. If you already know, like, look, this is logic, right? If you know that it is a pit of venomous, poisonous snakes, and you're like, I'm neutral, I can handle snakes, and you just jump into it. Why? Ask yourself, why do you repeat the trauma? You
I
like
never
it?
worked with her again. I'm here to tell you, I haven't worked with her again. I had that
okay.
thought. Why am I finished my little thing with her, and
Right.
then she said, "Are you ready to continue?" I said, "I think I'm going to take a break."
There you go.
I didn't have to give any reason. That is exactly what I thought. Why am I going to jump into this? 'Cause it's
Yes. Yeah.
literally, I would be sweating, and I don't need to work with people who have me sweating
No,
in fear.
that's good boundaries,
Yes.
Shifra. That's really good
But that
boundaries.
was really interesting that you could just, one little thing, I mean, I want to tell you, because this close to launching, like, can you see my steps? And I've not launched. I have two things to do to launch this new aspect of myself. And I have not done it since October. And I got to get off my ass.
So can you give
Woo!
yourself permission?
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to launch in January. I'm going to give January. I'm going to pick a date in January.
You're set. You're set.
I'm done.
Okay,
Yay.
so Shifra, give yourself a pat on the back and like recognize that you're moving through this. So this is like a milestone. May seem small, but it's quite big because you're setting the
It's really
precedence
small
for
and
the
it's quite
future.
big. That's
Yeah.
exactly correct. I love
And
that.
And so Lauren has a question. She sent me privately by accident. Lauren, do you want to ask it out loud?
Oh, let's see. I think it has something to do with how will my year end? What's my transition like from now into the end of the year? Because I'm recalling that there's some volcanoes that's going to be erupting or something like that. So
I think
So
that was,
what's
that
what's
was our
that looking
session,
like?
our last session, right? With the volcano. So
And
I
then
pulled,
I think there was an angel card that was like, flying over me or something.
okay, so your card, because I'm going to pull from this deck, the new deck is touching earth, planting something new. So when I get this card, I've never pulled this one either. This is a new one. They're all new. For me, this is about staying really grounded in your plan. Like we set a date. So staying grounded in that, not expecting a volcano to erupt. Because remember, your intention will create that. So if you're intending to have drama, right, or something erupt,
No drama.
then we're going to just clear that. Thank you very much. And, eruption could also be excitement, could be really letting go of the old to bring in the new as well, right? So we can look at it in multiple ways.
Sure.
It's
I guess a way to ask that is, what's the fun eruption that's going to be happening from now until the end of the year?
and volcano, that's heat, girl. That's passion. Wow. That's where I want to go with it. Okay, so this card is all about the cause and effect and the work-life balance, right? And so it's telling you to bring greater consciousness to the casual seeds you're planting in your energetic field. And the angel of the rainbow is sending full spectrum of light of color to nourish your highest intentions and help them grow. And you can use her assistance to cultivate a destiny you desire. So this is all about watering those seeds, weeding the weeds that are getting in the way, which are those like negative thoughts or worries or other people's opinions, right, being put on you. You have to weed those out. And basically on a practical level, the card is saying increasing activity in the natural world. You may be creating an actual garden for yourself, a place where you can draw on the peaceful energy of the earth. You may even consider opening a flower shop or pursuing a career in a field related to agriculture, horticulture, or the like. You might also find yourself volunteering to clean up the environment, plant trees, or help Mother Earth in some way. So this is all about planting the seeds of optimism, self-love for every area of your life. And we are one with Mother Earth, and many of us do not have that daily connection. And that's where I'm feeling, Lauren, the earth is calling you to go out, ground, go barefoot in the soil, maybe just meditate in the woods, hug some trees. Remember, tuning into the trees have that frequency when we're worried. So here's your affirmation. I plant the seeds of my future in every present moment. I nourish my desires. I nourish my destiny. I keep going into desire. Ooh. I nourish my destiny with action and joyous expectations. So you're expect the best, basically, because you're doing the work. Good for you. You're doing it.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome much.
All right. Who's next?
Ashley put in the chat.
Oh, Ashley. Okay, Ashley, go ahead.
Hi, thank you, everyone. Such lovely energies. Thank you, Therese. If you can pull a card for me, I just need a little guidance. I need to get out of my own way. And it's a push-pull. I know something big is happening, but I'm a little reluctant.
Yeah, I feel it in your body. Even when you speak it. It's like resistance.
Yeah.
It's like a fear. So this is like the best card. It's like this Indian goddess of abundance, fortune, wealth, and plenty.
Wow.
Well, we know what that all means.
Abundance. I could handle that.
She really needs that permission. You got it.
Yeah. So this is the goddess Lakshmi. So you can tune into her energy. She holds out her hands in divine offering, and the universe responds with such abundant blessings that gold coins come cascading down. And it says here, the gold in her gown and on her neck, ears, and wrists shines with the life-giving light of the sun, which radiates upward from the top of her head. So she is the light of the world, bringing boundless generosity. So you are very generous. Like, you are one of the most selfless people, I'm reading your energy, that there is. And you have a hard time receiving. Once again, that's the message today, is we have to receive. And you know, you can start by just practicing saying yes. When someone offers to grab you, say yes. Be a yes person. This is how I've learned, and I'm working on it. If someone says, can I take you out for lunch? What do we do? Oh, no, you don't have to do that. And then you go to offer to pay, right? No, you say yes, and you just get that lunch paid for, and you eat it, and you just be grateful for it. Yes, in all areas. That means pleasure too. Self-pleasure or receiving from your partner unconditionally. And being able to just submit to trusting that everything is working in your highest and best. And how you're saying, get out of my own way. Again, it's generational programming. I'm picking up the generational family. What's the record that keeps playing in your head?
Who do you think you are?
Let's get rid of that one right now.
Yes.
So so let's take that record out and put a new record in. What does the new record say?
I deserve the goodness I give away. I can receive the love and the blessing that I share with others.
So who do you think you are? Well, you're an abundant friggin' goddess. Look at this.
Woo!
You are magic. You are a goddess. You are a priestess. You are here not to be something less than who God made you to be. And that record is the programming of mom or dad or whoever. And that is an old record, and we need to smash it. So now every time that record plays, we all have them. They don't belong to you. So you can return to sender with love, and you can just heal that by playing a new record because you have the awareness. Who do you think you are? You can answer it in your head with the new record. I'm a goddess. I deserve all the pleasure, the money. I deserve all the time in the world for myself. And you got to practice treating yourself like a priestess or a goddess, right? Or a queen, because the queen don't put up with no in the kingdom. She says, you want to talk shit to me, then you're out. You don't belong in this kingdom. Unless you're bringing gifts to me, I don't gift to you. And it's really about you standing in that power. That's what this card is really saying. And so here's your affirmation. I open my mind and my life to the blessings of the universe. Unlimited wealth is coming to me in wonderful and unexpected ways. I think we all can use that affirmation. So, this is really about you making peace with being as powerful as you are. Because you're a healer. You're meant to help people heal in whatever capacity that is. And you have to give yourself permission to receive. Because I recognize in you what I've had in me, where people would tell me, you're so amazing. You helped me get off drugs, or you helped me heal this throat issue I've had since my husband died. And then I don't receive it. I just go, oh, well, you did all the work. I didn't take into account that I was the facilitator. I mean, we all heal ourselves, but I was a facilitator. I did all the healing myself and work myself, and I still work on that. And so you need to work on feeling that from the universe, trust, and visualize those coins coming into your head. Oh my gosh, that's the best meditation. Those coins are coming in, they're filling you up, or the gold liquid, and then treating yourself like a queen. Hot baths, salt scrubs, nice shampoo, I don't know, getting your nails done, whatever makes you guys feel like a queen. That's kind of what you got to do. Like a good pedicure, barefoot on the carpet. I don't know. But, yeah. So I hope that helps, hon.
Thank you so much. I'm feeling it. Thank you. Thank you for this space. Thank you for the message. Blessings to everyone.
Thanks for sharing and being vulnerable. That takes bravery right there. That's pure love, being vulnerable with yourself and others.
I have a
Can I ask-
question. Okay.
Okay, I think Dr. Elwin was next, honey, because she had her hand up before. So, and then we'll go to Lillian.
Mhm. The oracles, the cards are new to me, so I do not know how to ask the question. So I'm going to say, just share some information, and then we
Sure.
could see what it is. How do I ask it?
Well, honestly, you don't even have to have a question, love. You can just say, give me a message.
Okay, because I want to, what happens, I give too much of me
Mm-hmm.
and receive too little.
Yeah.
And then for me, what I find is that I'm challenged by manifestation, or I would see the doors opening and all of a sudden when it's close, when I'm close, it closes. And I'm wondering what is going to be happening as I end this year and begin next year. So out of all of that, I do not know what the question is, but I'm just sharing.
No, that's perfect. Because the more you share, the more your spirit opens up for me to hear it. Actually, the more people tell me their story, I get, it's like throat activation. But I pulled a card when you didn't have a question in mind, and it's sacred action, decisive focus. So here you go, this beautiful priestess. And so she's got this beautiful animal, and that means taking action like swiftly. So so this is what I'm hearing is when you feel, are you a generator? Do you know what you are?
Yeah,
think
I
you're
am right.
MG,
I am whatever Vivian is, I am. When
no,
you did it.
generator. She's a generator.
Generator,
Because
yes.
I sense you're a generator. That's what my
Okay.
sense is. And the reason why this card I think is coming is because I don't know if you're sacral or not. I feel like you might be sacral. No, what is she, emotional? Yes, yeah. So when you get that clarity, and you feel really clear in that moment, you've rode your wave and you'll feel it. That's when you're like, take action.
Okay.
That's what this card's saying. Don't willy-nilly it. Don't undo that clarity through your mind. Take action and make it decisive. So that decision that you made, it'll come very clear, and then you can just act on it, and it will come to fruition because you've done it in that sacred moment. That's what the divine is telling me. So it's an active energy of the cheetah. So the cheetah is coming into your life. This swift cat represents decisive action and intense focus. Because you're a perfectionist. You can do really great things with your mind, and you're so good at what you put your mind to. So this is saying, take an honest look at the projects or situations that you have, for some reason, been put on hold. Those ones that have been put on hold. And perhaps you've been waiting for a better time, unsure of what you want to focus on or even what action to take. The card is telling you to let go of the hesitation and saying that your soul is longing to move forward on this path. So whether your goal is personal, professional, or spiritual, you have the power to manifest it. Like you said, the door opening, that's the door opening, that peace and calm. It feels satisfying. It feels good. That's when you take action. That's when that door opens. And it's saying to let go of the self-doubt and fear of making the wrong decision, because the right decision is always when that door opens, when you feel it. So I envy you guys for having this. I have to wait 28 dang days of the moon, and I have to play out the moon energy every single day. I'm like, oh, today I'm lazy. I don't want to do anything. Like, life doesn't work that way in business, does it?
No, that's why you're hanging out with us, because we're the ones with the motor. Remember?
That's right. That's right.
See, she forgot the team again. Like, we have the motor.
Oh, no.
So we just reflected back to her. She's like, oh, yeah, yes, no. Okay, got it. It's all
Okay,
it's all
so I'll go back to this. The light of shared consciousness between animal and human can help take their decisive action to make the earth and all her life forms a top priority. So the earth is coming up for all of us today, the goddess, the queen. I mean, all these cards are for all of us. So set those loving intentions. And then what will happen is when those intentions, like when you get into that space of clarity, you know to take action because it feels good, feels right. And allow the wave to pass and not have judgment, like when you're emotionally on your wave, right? It's like, oh, I can't decide now because I have to go through this process. And so that's what I was saying about me, the 28 days, that's my wave, 28 days, gathering more information. And yes, when I'm lazy, Vivian, it's because I'm living by myself. I don't have any motors around me and I have to like pull it up out of my socks.
It's okay. I'm a phone call away. Just call.
I know it's true. I just have to call you. Okay, babe. So this is your affirmation. I focus on the options before me. I choose to take divisive action in the directions of my dreams.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Well,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, that was fun. All right.
Okay, let's do one more.
Lily.
Let's do one more, Lillian.
I didn't
Yes,
get purple, so when we get a chance,
I
I'd like
like
to get
to-
purple.
Yes.
Go ahead,
Are you-
Lillian.
Yes. I just wanted to find out, is there any message from the cards for me in regards to my physical well-being? Because, that is one of my concerns right now. So if there is a message, I would like to know it.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Courage. We're getting another animal here for you today, Lillian.
Thank you.
Courage, strength, fierceness, family. And then I'm reading into it for you right now. Isn't that beautiful? The
Yes.
lion.
That's beautiful. Yes. I think I saw that one previously too.
You've seen the lion
Okay.
lately as well?
Yes. Yes.
And that's a
that card.
good message from lion. So anytime animals come to us, you guys, it has meaning. You have to look at their eating habits. You have to, if you're getting an animal over and over, how do they eat? How do they mate? Who are their enemies? What is their sleeping patterns? It all has meaning because it can, you might need to start eating a grass-fed diet because this animal, right? Or a vegetarian diet, or maybe you need to eat meat because you're iron deficient. So it's interesting. And even looking at their mating habits, because maybe, you need to have one partner or two. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there because I have no judgment. If you're poly, I have no judgment. I'm just saying sometimes, Okay.
Yes.
So with your health, Lillian, the lion looks ahead to the time before him with tranquil courage, ready for anything. He reveals that an important event is on the horizon for you. A situation may require you to summon up your courage and perhaps even take a few risks. The lion is known as the king of beasts because of his mighty roar and regality. This situation facing you may involve direct action or strong communication to express your truth and make your desires known, and to take action on your own behalf, no matter what or whom you're dealing with. So here's what I'm getting. You have to advocate for yourself and your health and not give your power over to, okay, I'm just throwing this out there because I don't know you, I don't know your story, but I see this all the time when people are ill. They'll go to the doctor and then the doctor will give them their opinion. And sometimes that opinion is okay and sometimes it's not, right? And so you have to advocate for yourself. Does that opinion feel aligned? And maybe it means you have to go and get another opinion or seek out another type of doctor, because they all have special skills and they all have special wisdom to do. So this is really about you advocating for yourself and maybe reaching out and trying something new if what's working isn't working. So that's what your spirit is telling me. And the courage comes from the French word, French is coming up again. French word heart, right? So this card is telling you that even if you felt uncertain or frightened, in the past. Now you have the strength in your heart to face your life with self-actualized clarity. And so this is about you really tapping in and trusting that you know what you need, and you just have to do it and not judge yourself for it or play records from other people's opinions once again, or belief systems. And remember, the lion's a social animal. So it's like finding supportive, this is what I'm getting, finding your group of support, your people that see you healthy, that see you empowered. That's because when we put worry on people, because we're worried about them, even ourselves, it actually brings down our vibration, and we actually aren't able to heal when we worry. And so I feel for you, it's a mindset shift, as well as, again, aligning with how powerful you are to heal yourself. And and healing yourself means the right practitioner will be there, or the right medicine, or the right vitamin, or the right diet. And that means really honoring yourself in the process and what you're going through. But speaking as though you're healthy is one of those ways to shift mindset. And I speak from experience. I suffered from severe immune problems in my life. I had severe eczema growing up, where the point is I couldn't even bend my arms because I'd just be so open sored. Even the day of my wedding, when I got married, I had sores open all over my body. No one knows this about me, but this was my life. And it was an autoimmune disorder that I had. And no one could treat eczema back in the 80s. We'd put all kinds of stuff on, and and it would burn, and I'd crack. And I know this is disgusting, but it was my reality. Skin is the largest organ of the body. It regulates your temperature. So my temperature was never regulating. And skin is about being safe. So I had childhood trauma. It impacted me in the way that my skin actually decided that it didn't feel safe. And so, Lillian, there's the book by Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, and I'd highly recommend that for you. And I'll tell you, when I started hanging up that affirmation, I am safe, I made artwork with it, my eczema began to heal. I also had to, through doctors and things and regulating I changed my diet, like severely. I went off gluten and dairy. It's been 16 years now. Chinese herbs were really helpful. Acupuncture. I mean, I went the Chinese medicine route because that's what felt right and worked for me. So you just have to find what's right for you.
Right.
And trusting that it's okay, and not going into the fear of money either. Because that was my thing. I'd spend thousands of dollars. I even was put on cancer medication, actually. And I used to rock climb at the time, and I'd be nauseous on the rock. So I knew it wasn't for me. I was like, okay, it might clear up my skin, but I feel sick. Feel hungover without the party the day before,
Yes.
Yeah. So does that resonate with you?
Yes, it does. And I understand, and like you say, I need to find different ways of helping myself. And I've done it in the past, and I've been trying to think, like you mentioned, I have used acupuncture, physical therapy, exercise, all those things. So then, yes, I need to focus more on using those methods, because I know that they have worked in the past when I did have problems, health problems. And that's what I need to do nowadays. So I really appreciate your advice.
I have something coming up. Spirit just showed me.
Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
I want you to do a real parasite cleanse.
What kind of cleanse?
Parasite cleanse. And when I say parasite cleanse, I mean like a full parasite cleanse. I feel like you have we all have parasites. I don't know if you guys know this, but we do. And so It's really important I'm feeling that's what's going on. I feel like you have something big in there.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. That is good advice. Okay. Thank you so much.
And it can harm, right? It can harm.
Right. it will help. It will help. It will
Yeah,
give
I
me
feel like
strength.
it's like there's something, yeah, I don't know, Vivian's more of the,
Parasite though, remember Lillian, psychically, somebody or something is really taking advantage of your energy, right? So
Right.
psychically, parasite is they live off of a host.
yes.
So if you tell them to like go away, because yeah, I'm not a host, go find somebody else. You just say, this is for me, this is my body, so it's not for you. You really have to say no to things that doesn't work for you. I know that's kind of hard for us, right? Because culturally we like to just say yes, like we're a nice person. Meaning if I say no, I'm not nice today. Well, maybe just today. It's okay. You know, so you have to say no to someone so you can say yes to you.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
That's really important.
That's
Right,
beautiful,
right.
Vivian. And the other thing that part of that, Vivian, I think is when we do the inner work,
Mhm.
it makes it easier outside of us to let go of those people too, right? When we do that inner work, it's like
Right.
clutter clearing our house helps our inside clutter clear. Okay, so we're getting close to 2. So I'm going to pull one more card for Wendy.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome, you guys. And so, yeah, I don't want to keep you guys much longer. And so we'll give Wendy one more card. Hi, Wendy. All right.
Hi.
So what you said here, do you want to share it out loud to the group?
Sure. I kind of wanted to see if there was any message from the universe concerning that I'm doing the transition of going to a different position. And also with that, with going into that transition for a new position, I'm now having some additional time to myself to get into maybe some business projects or endeavors that I'm looking to wanting to,
I love it. Because
get
you know
on.
what, Wendy, you got the same card as Dr. Owen. The sacred
Love it.
action. So it's the same advice for her as for you. And you're a generator as well?
Yes,
Yeah, so it makes it, are you emotional or sacral?
emotional.
Yeah, so you guys are both needing to hear this today. So once again, in that peaceful moment, you take action. If it feels satisfying, Wendy, you do it. And if it doesn't feel good, then don't do it. Don't take action until you're in that peaceful place, is what this message is. Right? And it's the cheetah. The cheetah is so fast and precise and like powerful. So remember how powerful you are, right? You set that intention and then the answer, the clarity will be there when you go out of your, and so, I mean, you guys don't always have to have a huge emotional wave, right? It could just be right now. Okay, there's some clarity.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go, Wendy. There you go, everybody.
Let's do this, Doctor.
All right. So when go ahead, Therese, and invite them to our a real manifestation booster event this Friday, Saturday.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Can I didn't get a card pulled when you didn't pull cards for me. Can I just see what it would be?
Okay, sure. Because I already read for you, but you're right. I didn't pull a card. And so you got adjustment. Looking back, moving forward. Exactly what we talked about. There's an owl too.
Oh my God. Okay, I just wanted to see the card.
Yeah, no worries. And so this is like, yeah, like I said, you're going to be healing that back. Remember I said looking back, and that's what it says, looking back.
Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome, darling. Yes, okay, so this weekend, Friday, Saturday, I'm really excited because I've done this event with Vivian last time and it was super powerful and people had major life shifts. They felt so good. It was just such a warm, it's fun. It's just a lot of fun, but also very much transformational is the word I think I would say. And what I'm excited about is to actually help you use the cards to manifest. I'm actually going to be teaching you how to do that. not only are you going to have 4 practitioners healing you into this event, you're also going to have all these workbooks and all these skills to move forward. So I'm all about empowerment. We all are here. So we're all about empowering you with the tools that will help you move forward, versus going to an event where they just do it all for you and then you leave and you go, oh, I felt so good, but now I feel so down. You know how you go to events and then it's just like, and then you leave and then you don't feel the same. Well, this event, you'll still feel good 3 months down the road. It's not going to be like an up and then a down. And that's what that's the way I interpret it in my energy and as a reflector, reflecting back to the people in the event. And yeah, so if you want to be with people, like-minded women, and you want to help each other and you want to support each other and you want to create what you desire, then you want to be there. You want to be at this event. And I think the cost is amazing. I think it's really worth it for all the value that you're going to be getting with all these amazing people that are going to be there. Yeah.
Right. Well, thank you everyone for being here. And I know you're getting a lot of the recordings. And so you can invite more people if you think they could benefit from this, because tomorrow is our last day with Amy Fahim for quantum code activation, quantum code frequency activation. Super cool. So thank you, Therese, for
Thank you.
sharing your magic today. And thanks everyone for being here. And I'm just going to put it on our Facebook group. Or no, it is on your emails, right? I think you guys are getting the emails.
Yeah.
But you can go to viviandeguzman.com/manifestation-booster. And please use the coupon code early bird seat. So you get $100 off. So we're still giving you more $100 off, right? and if you'd like sessions with the practitioners, all 3 of them, I removed myself from that. You can use the VIP if you'd like, and you can have a private session with all of the practitioners if that is your desire. All righty. So thank you so much for being here, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.
Yay. Bye,
All
everyone.
right. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
There you go. I was